California hit a record today that nobody wanted. This year's fires have destroyed the most acreage ever, at least since they started keeping records. 829,000 acres or 1,300 square miles. Crews are still battling nearly 300 fires all around the state. Now, once the fires are put out, some Californians could face yet another nightmare trying to collect insurance. As Sandra Hughes tells us, some who made it through last year's wildfires say they're getting burned once again.
When wildfires swept through Jack and Patricia Bennett's Rancho Bernardo home last October, everything they owned was reduced to ash.
So many treasures that are gone.
But since they were insured with the good hands of Allstate, they thought they'd be able to rebuild quickly.
When the demolition crew turned to us and said, "You are underinsured," I said, "How can we be? We called a year ago to make sure this would not ever happen to us."
Although Allstate has paid the policy limits, the Bennetts say they are still going to be $150,000 short in rebuilding their lives. And they are not alone. To rebuild their home, Mark Emery and Jeanette Stratton will have to dig deep.
We really didn't want to have to dip into our savings just to rebuild the way it was before.
They contacted their agent to make sure their policy would reflect recent upgrades.
We had called them and told them of all the most recent changes to make sure that we had the best policy that they had.
But their Deluxe Plus homeowners policy has so far only been worth a check for $234,000, and local contractors say they need at least $500,000 to rebuild. Allstate may pay them up to an additional 50% extended replacement cost, which would add up to another $117,000, but they are still $150,000 short.
We were grossly underinsured, as apparently everybody has been.
Consumer advocates claim there is a reason insurance companies want to keep your policy limits and premiums low.
If they tell you what it really would cost to fully insure your home, you're going to say, "Oh, I'll get back to you." What they'd rather do is lowball, and the person says, "Okay," because people trust their agent.
San Diego fire victims are finding out their complaints against Allstate are not unique. That time and again, Allstate has been accused of leaving policyholders frustrated, underinsured, and unable to rebuild after disasters.
Allstate has been sued in California, Florida, and Texas by policyholders claiming the company uses an unfair business model. After Hurricane Katrina, Allstate was fined for dropping policyholders illegally, and the California Department of Insurance fined Allstate after the Oakland fires of 1991.
And why did they get fined? Because so many people were underinsured with Allstate.
Between 1987 and 1996, Allstate paid consumers 73 cents for every dollar spent on a premium. That dropped in the late 90s, and by 2006, consumers were only getting 59 cents back for every premium dollar. That while profits skyrocketed. In 2006, the company hit a record profit of $4.9 billion. Allstate's Bob Daniels says its customers are more valued than profit.
We work with the customers all the way through the process to make sure that we're doing everything we can so that they get the full value of their policy.
According to Daniels, of the 200 homes covered by Allstate that were destroyed in last year's wildfires, every homeowner has been paid something, often up to the policy limits.
Well, the fact that we were able to get them their checks within 2 to 4 weeks, we're very proud of.
But the homeowners we talked to say the policy limits aren't enough.
I'm just getting my second wind.
Good thing, this could be a battle that rages well into the next fire season. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Rancho Bernardo.